On today's episode of the channel for the recently deceased, I find myself in the birthplace of the American Revolution, Boston, Massachusetts. And before you Yankee fans come after me for wearing the hat, the B stands for my name, all right? You know, I haven't been back here since I graduated from the Harvard Business School, know what I mean? So tonight, I'm gonna take you on a ghost tour of all the haunted places here in Boston with a little help from a local ghost tour. So let's see if this chowderhead knows how to summon the spirits, besides me, of course. Come on. In fact, right here in Boston Common, right beneath where I'm sitting, there's an untold number of people buried. Sounds like a recipe for a haunted location, if you ask me. And guess what? It is.
The oldest city park in the United States. These 50 acres were used by many families as a cow pasture in the 1630s. However, it was also used for public hangings until 1817. Those executed included common criminals, military deserters, Native Americans, captured pirates, and religious dissidents. The most famous was Mary Dyer, the first woman to be executed in the New World. Hanged in 1660 from the limb of a large elm, which stood right where the Frog Pond is located today. And why? Because the Puritan government of Boston didn't allow Quakers. That's right, Quakers. There's a reason why I say never trust the living, especially Puritans. It is said that on the anniversary of her death, June 1st, witnesses have reported seeing a woman in colonial dress wandering around the common, often weeping. And some have even heard Mary's last words whispered in their ear, "I abide faithful to the death."
Look who I found. Now, if you don't already know this, Edgar Allan Poe was born right here in Boston. And if you haven't done so already, after you watch this video, go back and watch my interview with the OG master of horror himself, Mr. Edgar Poe. With me here is...
My name is Noelle.
Noelle, right? And which is appropriate because you used to work in a Christmas store.
I did used to work in a Christmas store. That's another story for sure.
And how long have you been a ghost tour, Noelle? A ghost tour guide? A year?
A year.
Yeah. And have you seen anything spooky since you started the tour? Oh no, you said you put up barriers, right?
I put up barriers.
Yeah. And how are those working for you? You haven't seen anything yet?
I believe in ghosts with all my heart. Actually got into it because of my fear of ghosts. Like, I literally am scared of the dark.
You know what that's called? It's called phasmophobia. But you're standing next to one right now, and I think you're doing just fine.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
A short walk from the Common and following the Freedom Trail is the Granary Burying Ground. Built in 1660, it attracts more than 1 million visitors each year due to the famous individuals buried there. Paul Revere, John Hancock, and Samuel Adams. Not to be confused with Samuel Jackson.
Bitch.
While snapping a few photos through the locked gate, I thought I saw a ghost light approaching. But it turned out to be another tour guide who had a few stories of his own.
And there has been a lady in green spotted hanging out over by that wall and then disappearing. And then the two people who work for the ghost tour that I work for have spotted seen a lady in red hanging out in this tree right up here. In the tree, yes, just hanging out, floating in the tree.
You said she's in red?
Yes, in red. Lady in green against the red, lady in red against the green. Personally, all right, so I was sitting on the Franklin Memorial right over there, looking down, and I saw a white figure float across, and then down. I was like, God, I hope that's a CVS bag or something. Went over, absolutely nothing there. So that was my one paranormal experience in this graveyard.
Our next stop on the tour was the Omni Parker House, opened in 1855 and considered to be one of the most haunted hotels in the country. Chuck Dickens, who we've discussed several times on this channel, stayed here for 5 months between 1867 and 1868. It is said his ghost appears in this mirror, which was moved from his room to the mezzanine level.
So you have people from all over coming to this mirror and they say, Charles Dickens, Charles Dickens, Charles Dickens. Eventually that's going to have an effect.
But Charles Dickens isn't the only spirit said to haunt the hotel. Founder Harvey Parker, who died in 1884, has been seen by guests and staff alike, and my tour guide explains why his portrait is missing from the hotel lobby.
His portrait has been removed because too many people, they would be disturbed by a man with long coattails and a tall top hat and a cane making his way through their walls. Now, he's just moving around like he owns the place. That's because, sure enough, he does. And they don't realize this until they come down in the morning and they see his picture on the wall and realize that this was not a bad dream, this was a visitation.
So I'm at the Old South Meeting House, and this door behind me is where the Sons of Liberty met in what year? 1773. This is where they got into some disguises, right, because they didn't want to get caught. And they walked this way, all the way down to the water, and threw perfectly good tea into the water. Because they said, you know what, taxation, no taxation without representation. The hell with this tea. I drink coffee.
Noelle, my tour guide, told me that several people have experienced a strong presence at these doors, so strong that it has managed to push people to the ground. Could this be the psychic imprint of the Sons of Liberty?
And we are the sons, yes, we are the Sons of Liberty.
Not much of a disguise, if you ask me. Union Oyster House, the oldest restaurant in the city, was not part of the tour, but I came back here another day as it is not only haunted, but also has the best clam chowder in New England.
It's chowder. Say it right.
The most notable spirit said to haunt the dining area is none other than the late JFK, who was a regular at the restaurant long before he was elected president. In 1771, the second floor is where they printed the Massachusetts Spy, the first newspaper in the United States and one of the earliest to solidify the rumors of the American Revolution. It also served as an official pay station where generals such as George Washington were paid their earned military commissions during the war. The manager told me that one employee quit after only one day on the job because he claimed an apparition was staring at him from across the room watching him work. Hey, buddy, do you mind? This is how I fold napkins, okay? Our last stop on our tour of haunted Boston is the Cutler Majestic Theater, which opened in 1903 and is considered a historic landmark of the city. I even included it in my new book being released later this year, Ghostlight: Haunted Theaters Across America. Look for it wherever books are sold. One of the main spirits said to linger at the Cutler is that of a former mayor who died while he was watching a show. It is said that his spirit still remains in the building to this day and is the one spotted the most often.
Well, there you have it, folks. That was the ghosts of Boston, Massachusetts. Let me know in the comments below what city I should visit next. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And remember, never trust the living. Bye.